In this video, we are going to talk about arrays. So if you look at the screen right now, you can see there is just a variable called age, and it is equated to a value of 17. Now note that this value is here, this variable age is equated to one value. But what if you wanted a way to store multiple values? Like for example, if you wanted to store multiple ages inside the age variable. So if you wanted like a list of ages to be assigned to the age variable, how could we do it? Now we can do this using an array. So an array is just basically a data structure that can help to store multiple values and assign it to a particular variable. Now I am going to teach you how to create and work with arrays right now. So let's say for example we wanted to store multiple ages in this age variable. What we need to do first is declare what data type int, and then create the name of the variable, which is age, and then we're going to put in this square bracket. Now what we need to do inside the square bracket is that if you know the number of items that you want to store inside this array, you can pass it in, for example 5. Now what that means is that once we've passed in 5, it means that we cannot store more than 5 items inside this array. Now if you do not know the specific number of items that you are going to be storing inside an array, you can just leave it empty and your program will work properly. So after doing this, we are going to equate it to curly brackets. Now this curly brackets, inside this curly brackets is where we are going to be writing all the items that are actually going to be stored inside this array. So for example, I could type in 12, 16, 76, 90, and our code is still going to run properly. And make sure you put a semicolon at the end. So what we have done now is we've created an array called age, and then we have equated it to 4 items. So once I run this command, or code rather, you will see that we have no error. Now what if you want to access a particular item? For example, if you wanted to print 12 or if you wanted to print 90, I am going to show you how. So we're going to say printf, and then inside this printf we first need to pass in %d because we're trying to print out an integer. Now what if we wanted to print out 12? We are going to print out 12 using what is called indexing. So I'm going to say age and then create 2 square brackets and pass in 0. So what exactly is this? Now inside an array, every single item is located at a particular index, and using indexes is a way we can access specific values in an array. And then every single array always starts with an index of 0. So 12 is going to be sitting at an index of 0, 16 will be at 1, 76 will be at 2, and 90 will be at 3. So to prove that the code works properly, once I run this file, you can see that it prints 12. And if I wanted to print 90, I would pass in an index of 3 because it's at index 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So once I pass in 3 into this code and I run it, you can see that 90 gets printed out in the terminal. So basically now you've learned how to create arrays. Now what we can also do is that we can also modify the value of arrays using indexing. So what if we wanted to change the value of 90 to like 950? What we can say is age, and we create curly brackets and pass in the index of where 90 is, and then we can equate that to 950. Again, what we are doing is we are trying to change the value of 90 to 950. So the way we can modify it is, first we need to grab 90 by the index. So we're saying age square brackets, and then we're passing in 3, and then we're changing the value to 950. So when we come down to line 9, you can see that we are now printing out the value that is at index 3, and then you are going to see that it will change to 950. So once I run this code, you can see that 950 gets printed out. Now 950 gets printed out because in line 7 we had already modified the value of 950 of 90 to be 950. So that is how to create arrays in the C programming language. Now arrays are very useful as they are used to store large amounts of data. So for example, imagine I wanted to create a variable. Imagine I wanted to store these 4 values. Another approach to do it is to store each of them in different variables. I can come down and say int age 2, and I can also come down and say int age 3, and then I can equate all these ages to these other variables. But since there is a way to store all these values inside one variable, that is the best way to do it using arrays. So if you have any question, you can leave it in the comment section and I will reply you. Thank you for watching this video, and if this was helpful, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe and share. I'll see you in the next video.